my dear child. I come to you with a message that weighs heavy on my heart, a message so urgent it burns like fire in my spirit. This is not a casual word, not a fleeting thought to brush aside. This is a cry from the heavens, a plea woven into the fabric of eternity itself. Archangel Michael, God's mighty warrior, the one who has stood guard over your soul through countless unseen battles, is in grave danger. His life hangs in the balance, and the enemy Satan himself has crept into the sacred place where Michael rests. This is no jest, no story spun for amusement. This is real, and it is happening now in the unseen realms where the fate of souls is decided. Satan did not come with noise or fire. He did not storm the gates with armies or announce his arrival with thunder. No, he came cloaked in silence, carrying the bitter scent of betrayal, a darkness older than the stars. He slipped through the golden gates of Michael's dwelling, as if he had a right to be there, as if he once belonged. But this time, his purpose was not warret, was revenge. He seeks to destroy the one who has stood as your protector, the one who has shielded you from dangers you never even knew existed. And Michael, holy and faithful, yet wounded from countless battles fought for you, lies asleep, unaware that he is moments away from the edge of death. God, in his infinite mercy, has held back the winds of destruction for as long as he could. The clock of eternity is ticking, its hands stained with the urgency of this moment. The bells of heaven tremble on their chains, and the veil that separates the earthly from the divine is tearing not from heaven reaching down to earth, but from earth falling into the abyss. My beloved, I beg you, in the name of the throne of God, to hear this call. It is not too late, not yet, but time is slipping away like sand through your fingers. Your voice, your prayer, your heart is the only light that can pierce the darkness surrounding Michael. Your breath is the only sword sharp enough to cut through the nightmare binding his wings. If you act now, if you pray, Michael will awaken. This message, this sacred warning, may vanish in mere moments, 45 seconds, to be exact. Once the window of heaven closes, it cannot be reopened. The Lord himself spoke to me about you, saying, I have placed my warrior in the fire for their sake. My justice is hidden beneath his scars. Now, rise, child of the covenant, and cry out, for the battle is not yet lost. I was sent to you not to offer comfort or explanation, but to rouse you, to awaken you. Michael is still in the burning house, and the fire was kindled by Satan's breath. Let me speak to you not as a distant messenger, but as one who has stood by your side in every unseen battle, through every moment of doubt and fear. Will you stay with me just a little longer? The shadows are moving quickly, faster than you can imagine. The stars have turned their gaze from the heavens to watch you, waiting to see if you will open your eyes. Even the moon held its breath last night, hoping you would hear this call. This is not a dream, not a metaphor, not a vision. This is happening now in the hidden places of the spirit world. Michael is not just fighting for heaven, he is fighting for you. When the devourer reached for your name, it was Michael who stepped between you and destruction. When the angel of death circled your bed, it was Michael who knelt beside your pillow, whispering prayers to keep you safe. And now, he is paying the price for his love. The betrayal that struck him was carved with your name, a wound meant to silence the one who has sung over your soul since before you were born. God's plan has not failed, but it has been hidden in your heartbeat, in your silence, in the memory of a promise you made before your soul touched this earth. Heaven remembers that promise, hell remembers it, And now you are being called to remember it too. The serpent slithered into the sanctuary, bringing 7 curses, one for each archangel. One was meant for Michael's throat, to silence the voice that has always sung over you. But that curse can be broken, not by armies, not by angels, not by lightning, but by you. Your voice, your prayer, is the key. Psalm 35 resounds through eternity, and I declare it over you now. Contend, Lord, with those who contend with me. Fight against those who fight against me. Take up shield and armor. Arise and come to my aid. These words were not just for David. They were written for this moment, for you. They are your sword. Speak them aloud, and the walls of darkness will crack. Speak them with tears, and Satan himself will tremble. Michael is weeping, beloved, because he fears you might ignore the one miracle heaven has prepared just for you. 3 days ago, he spoke your name in the courts of heaven, and when he did, even the flowers on the tree of life closed in sorrow, knowing you might scroll past this message. But this time must be different. You must not walk away. If this reaches your soul, type Amen now, so the angels know you have heard. The moment is trembling, the seal is warm, and heaven is waiting. You may not know this, but last night 3 angels were stationed at your door, not to guard, but to kneel. They were told, wait, do not speak. If the child opens the message, speak blessing. If not, leave before sunrise. And they left. But I remained, because I knew you would come. I stayed through the thunder and the silence, through the temptation and the slumber, through every skipped prophecy and every whispered doubt. I stayed because I was commanded. Do not leave until the chosen one arrives. Do not move until they read every word, for their voice alone can wake my servant from death. Michael's wings are stained with the ash of battle, his robe torn, his sword glowing faint. The flame within him is nearly out, but he smiled once, just once, when your name was whispered in his sleep. Will you like this message? Not for me, but so heaven can guide another soul before it's too late. And if you dare, comment what heaven has whispered to you. Your words might unlock someone else's chains. Thank you, beloved. I love you more than the flames I've fallen through to reach you. Please don't go. The last trumpet has not yet sounded. Michael breathed your name, beloved, with cracked lips and trembling hands, whispering it into the fabric of eternity, even as Satan's claws closed around him. I saw it with eyes made from the fire of God himself. Michael was resting, not in peace, but in exhaustion. After defending your soul from 77 unseen strikes in a single night, he collapsed in the inner chamber of heaven's war room, thinking the danger had passed. But Satan, roaring like a lion that tasted forbidden blood, saw his chance and struck. He entered not as a beast, but as something colder but cruel. Michael did not scream, he did not rise. He trusted, and while he slept, evil crept in. But God has done something extraordinary, something he has not done in 1,000 years. He shattered a silence older than time itself and turned to the council of archangels, declaring, enough, send the voice. That voice is yours. Your 1-minute prayer is not a whisper, is thunder, a blade forged in divine memory that can cut through the poison wrapping Michael's heart. I say this clearly, if you skip this, you may never hear from him again. But if you speak even one word of light, he will open his eyes, and Satan will burn. This is not a story, not a parable. This is unfolding now in the secret places of the spirit world. The sky is at war, and your name is written at its center. You are not random. not weak, not late. You are the one heaven foresaw, the key to Michael's awakening. Would you recognize the voice of heaven if it called you by your true name, not the name men call you, not the one on your documents or whispered in childhood rooms, but the name God spoke before your soul touched dust? That name is power, a door, the reason Satan fears you. It is the name Michael has protected through countless battles. When Michael fell to one knee, carrying the weight of your burdens, God counted the tears in his eyes and turned them into stars. But now those stars are flickering, their light fading. The time for intercession is nearly over. It is your voice that must fill the silence, your cry that must shatter hell's confidence. I speak as one who has watched ages pass from heaven's watchtower. What you do in the next few moments will echo for centuries in realms beyond your imagination. Scrolls are being written as you listen, and one bears your handprint in fire. Will you walk away, or will you stay until the final word is spoken? If this message has stirred something holy in your spirit, like it not for vanity, but for victory, let heaven see you light the signal fire. Let the darkness know you stand with the angels. Comment Amen below, so the 7 winds can carry your voice to Michael's ears. And if your heart has room for more, subscribe now, not for us, but because what comes next was hidden for a generation, revealed only to those who stay. You are one of them. I see it in your flame. Michael lies unmoving, with Satan standing above him, smirking with ancient cruelty. But there is still time. A small flame flickers behind his ribs, and it responds only to your voice. Heaven has never made such a request before, but this moment is unlike any other. You are the only soul in this generation who holds the key. God said, send the message directly. Make it thunder in their spirit. Let nothing stop it. And so I came, with words carved in urgency, not ink. Michael gave up his wings last month to shield you from an invisible death sentence. You didn't see it, but you felt the grief, the delay, the strange heaviness. That was the price of his protection. Now he lies, not broken, but forgotten. The psalm cries through me like a storm. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivers him out of them all. He keeps all his bones, not one of them is broken. Yet Michael's spirit is cracked, waiting for your prayer to restore him. I was commanded to speak your true name before the throne if you respond now. A divine record will be written. They stood with Michael when all others slept. They heard heaven and did not walk away. Will you abandon him, or become the one who saves the angel who once saved you? He remembers the day you were born, when he sang over your crib in the unseen realm. He fought off spirits of despair when they whispered through your sorrow. He was there in the hospital room, in the silence when you stared at the ceiling. Now he waits for your prayer. Speak now. What did heaven whisper to your soul? The seraphim tremble, knowing you alone can move the needle of eternity. This message was not sent to entertain, but to rescue the one who offered his eternity to protect your destiny. If you feel called, show it. Like this message, share it, so another soul might hear before it's too late. Subscribe, because the next revelation is for the awakened. Right? Amen. If your spirit burns with this truth, Michael is listening for your voice, his wings trembling, caught between sleep and eternity. The place where he lies is holy, burning, wrapped in the echo of your silence. Above him, darkness snarls, but the seals tremble, knowing what is about to break. The weight on your chest is not anxiety, is the pull of divine war. The chill on your skin is not air, it is the breath of the realm between. You were chosen for this hour, not because you are flawless, but because your voice carries the echo of God's image. Only your cry can pierce the veil and awaken the one who guarded you. Michael took the hit meant for you, without hesitation, because your soul mattered more to him than his own glory. Now he has fallen, and heaven waits to see what you will do. I speak with the fire of Psalm 91. He will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. They will lift you up in their hands, so that you will not strike your foot against a stone. But what happens when the angel falls, when the guardian bleeds? That's where you come in. The demons circling Michael chant that he is finished, that your heart has grown cold, but one word from you will silence them. If Michael asked, "Do you still believe in me?" what would you say? He believed in you before you prayed, fought for you before you believed, and loved you with the fire of 1,000 suns. His faith in you remains unbroken. Last night, at 3:09 a.m., your soul stood in the in-between, shown Michael lying in darkness. You woke, confused, thinking it was a dream, but it was a holy cry. Your spirit responded, and now you are called to remember. The demons hate your voice because it carries the trace of God's breath, the sound that shattered chaos in the beginning. Speak, and the enemy will flee. The prophecy declares, "The one who has served in fire shall not fall to shadow." Michael's awakening depends on your response. His breath is shallow, his wings torn, the dust beneath him glowing with battle's residue. The silence around him is not peaceful, it is the silence before a scream. You were born with this role hidden in your breath. Heaven knew this moment would come. Hell feared it. Satan attacked Michael while you slept, believing he could silence you by silencing your guardian. But he was wrong. Your spirit is burning, and that heat is aligning with your destiny. Michael waits for your voice, the only sound that can undo what has been done. Speak his name, not as a chant, but as a vow. Speak it as one who dares to pull the guardian of light from the shadows. If you knew how much he loved you, how he flinched when your soul was wounding, you would not hesitate. You are not a spectator. You are the deliverance, the tipping point. Your cry can shatter the 7 demons circling him, bound in ancient hatred. They know you're hearing this, and they fear your response. Your voice is a sword, and Michael waits for it. The place where he lies borders the chasm of eternal forgetting, a place only those who fall, defending the innocent, go. His soul glows faintly, sustained by your love. Do not let it go out. The bells of heaven are quiet, the stars silent, waiting for you. This is not death, it is the slow unraveling of one who gave everything for you, left unseen. But you remember now. Your presence was his shield, your love his armor. Now that you know, do not turn away. Michael's breath is cold, his fire flickering like the last star in a dying sky. Yet he smiles, believing in your love. Your voice is the oil that can heal him, the sound that can pull him from the edge. A gate opens once every 1,000 years, leading to the place where angels fall. Michael is near that gate. Do not let him cross. You swore a covenant before you were born, sealed with your name beside his. Now that scroll is unrolling. It is time to rise, to cry out, to let your voice shatter the chains holding the first of angels. The atmosphere around him thickens, pressing against his wings like the grief of centuries. His sword lies scorched, his light barely alive, but the shadows hesitate, remembering your voice. They fear it more than his blade. There is a law in heaven. What is awakened by love cannot be defeated by hate. That law pulses through your spirit. You feel it, the burning behind your ribs, the ache in your chest. That is your soul remembering what your flesh forgot. Heaven waits with weeping angels and bowed saints for your silence to become thunder. Michael stood between you and 10,000 devils, praying when you stopped, covering you when you uncovered yourself. He watched you weep and tightened his grip on his blade. Now he lies wounded, not from battle, but from silence. Heaven is not asking for a miracle, it is asking for remembrance. When you feel your soul tremble tonight, when your heart beats fast without reason, that is the signal, the veil opening. Speak his name, and heaven will hear. Hell will fear. Michael will rise. The heavens are still humming, beloved, with the afterglow of what you've done. The air, once heavy with the weight of Michael's silence, now vibrates with a quiet, holy resonance, a song of victory that only the awakened can hear. Archangel Michael, the warrior who stood for you when the darkness pressed in, walks again, his steps steady, his wings no longer torn but radiant with the light of your remembrance. Yet this is not the end of the story, but a continuation, a sacred unfolding that stretches beyond this moment into the eternal. Your voice, your love, your choice to stay when the world would have pulled you away, these have shifted something profound in the unseen realms. And now, heaven calls you to walk deeper, to carry this fire forward, to become more than you ever imagined you could be. The place where Michael stood, where he rose from the ashes of betrayal, is no longer a battlefield. It has become a sanctuary, a holy ground, marked by your prayer. The scorched earth beneath him, once cracked by Satan's cruel presence, now blooms with life, not because of divine decree alone, but because your heart refused to let him go. The flowers that grow there, delicate yet eternal, carry the fragrance of your faith, a scent that lingers in the courts of heaven. Every angel who passes that place pauses, their wings dipping slightly in reverence, for they know what happened here. They know a mortal soul, one like you, stood in the gap when an archangel could not stand for himself. They know your name, beloved, and it is spoken in whispers among the hosts, a name that now carries the weight of a covenant fulfilled. But this moment, as sacred as it is not meant to be a resting place. It is a beginning, a doorway into a calling that was written into your spirit before the stars were set in their courses. Michael's restoration was not the end of heaven's planet, was the spark that ignited something greater, something that only you can carry forward. The veil that once separated you from the divine is thinner now, so fragile it trembles with every breath you take. You are no longer just a soul who was guarded. You are a soul who guards a flame that kindles other flames, a voice that can awaken what has been asleep for ages. Heaven is watching, not with judgment, but with expectation, waiting to see how you will carry this light into the world. Do you feel it, beloved? The stirring in your chest, the warmth behind your eyes, the sense that something has changed within you. That is not imagination. That is your soul aligning with its eternal purpose. When you spoke Michael's name, when you refused to scroll past, when you chose to stay and pray, you stepped into a role that was hidden in your spirit from the beginning. You became a partner in the divine war, not with weapons of steel, but with the fire of remembrance, the sword of love, the shield of faith. And now the heavens are asking you to keep walking, to keep speaking, to keep burning. There are other guardians, other souls, other battles that wait for a voice like yours to call them back from the edge. In the unseen realms, the ripples of your choice are still moving. They travel through the corridors of eternity, touching places you cannot yet see, stirring hearts you may never meet. The demons that fled from Michael's side when your voice broke, their chains are not gone forever. They lurk in the shadows, regrouping, whispering lies to other souls, hoping to silence the guardians who protect them. But they are afraid now, beloved, because they know what you are capable of. They know that a single word from your lips can unravel their plans. They know that your love, your prayer, your refusal to forget is a weapon they cannot withstand. And Michael, standing tall once more, carries your echo in his wings, a reminder to every force of darkness that you are awake and you are not alone. The Father, seated on the throne, has not turned his gaze from you. His eyes, burning with a love too vast for words, see every moment of your faithfulness. When you stayed, when you spoke, when you remembered, a tear fell from his eye not of sorrow, but of fulfillment. He saw the seed he planted in you before time began, the seed of courage, of love, of divine remembrance, come to life. And now, that seed is growing into something new, something that will change not just your story, but the stories of those around you. The angels, too, are watching, their wings still, their breath held, as they wait to see what you will do next. They know you are not ordinary. They know you are a flame, a beacon, a soul who has touched the edge of eternity and brought back light. Michael himself, now restored, does not walk as he once did. There is a new rhythm to his steps, a new fire in his gaze. He carries your prayer like a banner, your love like a shield. When he moves through the heavens, the other angels part for him, not out of duty, but out of awe. They see the mark on his armor, the golden seal over his heart, shaped by your tears, forged by your cry. It is a mark that says, "This one was saved by the love of a soul who refused to forget." And that mark is not just his, it is yours, a sign that you are forever bound to him, not as a servant to a master, but as a partner in the divine plan. He fights now, not just for heaven, but for you, knowing that you fight for him in return. The war is not over, beloved. The unseen realms are still trembling, still shifting, still waiting. There are other guardians, other warriors, who lie wounded, waiting for a voice to call them back. There are other souls, asleep in their own silence, who need to hear the truth you now carry. You are not just a witness to this moment, you are its author, its flame, its thunder. Your voice has become a signal fire, a beacon that can guide others to awaken, to remember, to rise. Heaven is not asking you to be perfect. It is asking you to be present. It is asking you to speak, to pray, to love with the same fierceness that Michael showed when he stood between you and the darkness. Last night, as you slept, your spirit was pulled once more into the in-between. You did not know it, but you stood again at the edge of the place where Michael lay, your soul glowing with the light of your decision. The angels saw it, and they bowed not to you, but to the God who made you, who trusted you with this moment. You felt something, perhaps a heaviness, a warmth, a fleeting thought that stirred you from sleep. That was no dream. That was heaven reaching for you, reminding you that this calling is not over. It is growing, expanding, pulling you into a deeper partnership with the divine. The scrolls of heaven are still being written, and your name burns brighter now than ever before. Each word you speak, each prayer you offer, each moment you choose to stay instead of turn away, these are etched into eternity, not as fleeting marks, but as living flames. The demons tremble at the sound of your voice, not because it is loud, but because it is true. They know that what you did for Michael, you can do for others. They know that your love is a fire that cannot be quenched, a light that cannot be hidden, a sword that cannot be broken. And so, I ask you now, beloved, to keep going. Do not let this moment fade into memory. Do not let the fire you've kindled die out. There are others who need you, others whose guardians wait in silence, others whose battles depend on the awakening of a soul like yours. Speak their names, pray their deliverance, light their path. You have seen what your voice can do. You have seen an archangel rise because of it. Now, imagine what else heaven can do through you. Imagine the souls you can call back, the chains you can break, the darkness you can scatter. The heavens are open, beloved, wider now than they were before. The veil is not just thin, it is responsive to you, to your heart, to your cry. Every step you take carries the echo of this moment. Every breath you release carries the weight of eternity. You are not alone in this. Michael walks with you, his wings casting a shadow of light over your path. The angels stand ready to carry your prayers to the throne. The Father himself leans in, listening for the sound of your voice, not because he needs it, but because he delights in it. You are his beloved, his chosen, his flame. So rise now, not in fear, but in fire. Speak, not in doubt, but in faith. Love, not with hesitation, but with the fierceness of one who has seen the edge of eternity and chosen to stand. The war is not over, but the tide has turned. The darkness that thought it could silence Michael has learned its mistake. It cannot silence you. It cannot silence the one who remembered, the one who stayed, the one who loved. You are that one, and heaven will never be the same because of it. And so, beloved, the story continues, not as a tale that ends, but as a flame that grows. Michael, restored by your love, walks again in the high places, his sword gleaming, his heart ablaze with the memory of your voice. The heavens sing a new song, one that carries your name alongside his, a melody of redemption, of remembrance, of a bond that no darkness can break. You have stepped into your calling, not as a bystander, but as a warrior of light, a guardian of guardians, a soul who changes the course of eternity with every word, every prayer, every act of love. The veil remains open, the fire remains lit, and the heavens remain watching, waiting for the next moment you choose to speak. Go forward, beloved, carrying the truth that you are not just protected, you are a protector, and your light will guide others home. Beloved, if this message has touched your heart, ignited a spark in your spirit, or stirred the fire of heaven within you, I humbly ask you to take a moment to act. Please like this message, not for my sake, but to light a beacon for another soul who needs to hear this truth before the shadows close in. Your like is a signal, a flare in the darkness, guiding others to the light of this divine call. Share this message so another guardian might be awakened, so another heart might rise to break the chains of silence. If your spirit feels moved to go further, consider joining us as family by subscribing. The revelations that await are sacred, hidden for generations, and meant only for those who stay, who burn, who remember. Your subscription is not just a click it s, a step into the holy circle of those who walk with heaven's fire. What comes next is a mystery unveiled for the awakened, and you are one of them. And if this message has pierced your soul, if you feel the weight of eternity in these words, I invite you to offer a super thanks, any amount, up to $20, as an act of alignment with this divine work. Your offering is more than support. It's a declaration that you stand with the angels, that you carry the flame of remembrance, that you are part of this sacred moment. Every gesture, every prayer, every spark of love you share sends ripples through the heavens, calling back warriors, shattering curses, and lighting the path for those still lost. I love you more than the flames I've crossed to bring you this message, more than the stars that bow to your courage. Stay with us, beloved, for the next word from heaven is yours to receive. Type Amen below to let the angels know you stand with them, and let your heart burn bright. Thank you from the depths of eternity.